Lastly, just gonna now introduce myself. My name is Maureen Mora, and I work with Somo Africa as the partnership manager. So allow me to quickly just take you through on what to expect the time you're going to be with us. So we've already had a round of team introduction from the Somo team and our own entrepreneurs, after which there will be a brief introduction on who Somo is, what we do, and how we work with entrepreneurs. And then we'll have a quick short demo on one of our digital tools that Charles is going to do. I'm not going to disclose which tool that is at this point, but you'll get a chance to know what tool I'm talking about, and how valuable and great it is to entrepreneurs. After which we'll have a roundtable discussion moderated by Joshua with three of our entrepreneurs. That's Rosalie, Margaret, and Judy. And we're going to wrap up the session with just going through some of the key points that we would have gotten from the roundtable discussion, and just seeing how entrepreneurs, especially from underrepresented communities, are making very awesome and huge strides to support themselves as well as the communities. With that said, I'm going to take you through who Somo is. I hope all of you can see my screen. Somo, which is a Swahili word, it means lessons, and pretty much what that means for us as Somo Africa is we believe in creating a community around the lessons we learn from each other. Somo learns from entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs as well learn from Somo. So a little bit of background on who Somo is. We are a business accelerator and incubator that supports social entrepreneurs from marginalized communities. And what we do with these entrepreneurs from these communities is we invest in community-led initiatives and provide the resources needed to help build sustainable and scalable enterprises. And we do that, the approach we use is through our three main pillars. We have the Somo Academy, where we have a specific focus for providing knowledge through training and business coaching. We have 3 programs and 1 digital tool that facilitates that. We have Somo Invest, where we have a specific focus on investing in small businesses and later on connecting them to growth partners for scale. We have 1 program and 1 digital tool that facilitates that. And that specific digital tool is our main focus for today's session. And then lastly, we have Somo Channels, where we have a focus on facilitating and supporting entrepreneurs right from production to ensuring that these products and services they're offering reach the end user. So we have a small production facility here in Kenya, Githurai, and a market access program that facilitates the selling of these products. So to just now quickly jump over to the main focus for this session, which is pretty much talking about our main tool, which is Digiqua under the Somo Invest platform. So before I quickly go into that, let me give you a little bit of context in terms of just entrepreneurship, especially from these underrepresented communities. We all know how entrepreneurs, especially from the communities we operate from, have been struggling with keeping their business records, as well as managing or accessing financial support because of either the nature of the businesses they are running or access to different resources and materials that they can access from those regions. And this means they're unable to scale their businesses because they lack those resources, they lack the skills, they lack the tools to effectively access and manage the financials. And to now jump over into how this ties into Somo, our own entrepreneurs, and the inventions that we've come up with. Since Somo started in 2016, we usually used to have our own entrepreneurs with the likes of Margaret come on into our hubs which are in the 3 major cities of Kenya, that is Nairobi, Kisumu, and Mombasa. So they need to access the hubs to either, number one, update their business records on a monthly basis, which was very tiresome and tedious, and it took a lot of time. And at that time, the staff was also not as huge to accommodate all the entrepreneurs we had. Quickly jumping on to when COVID came in, it number one meant our own entrepreneurs could not access our hubs because of the rules and strategies put in place by the Ministry of Health to just prevent COVID from further spreading. And during that time, that's when our tech team came up with the innovation, Digiqua, to help our entrepreneurs to update their business records and also track and see how their businesses were performing. So what is Digiqua? How is Digiqua supporting entrepreneurs from marginalized communities? Digiqua is Somo's USSD and WhatsApp-based reporting system created for entrepreneurs, and it enables business owners to submit daily or weekly financial results and automatically generate cash flows and income statements, which these entrepreneurs can actually use to track and manage their own businesses. Just something else to add on to that, entrepreneurs can also submit sales, track client information, expenses, inventory information, and they can do all this using a basic feature phone or a smartphone. So if you're having a basic feature phone, all you need to do is use a USSD code provided by our tech team, or use WhatsApp to do all these updates. And if you're using WhatsApp, you can be able to get business documents directly to your WhatsApp, to your email, as well as your client's information that you'd have added. We went a step further to now visualize and digitize the data collected from Digiqua onto an invest platform, so that when investors are looking to invest in our own entrepreneurs, they can have all the data visualized in a more easier and understanding way. And the other reason that informed us to do all this, we work with investors, which meant there are some data and information they could look for before starting to invest in these businesses. And with Somo Invest, they're able to easily access that data, do their own due diligence through that, and later on invest in these entrepreneurs. So I'm just going to take a pause there, and just for our participants who have joined in, please feel free to use the chat to engage us. You can leave questions, comments, or remarks throughout this whole session. And towards the end or in between, we can have an engagement in between there. So with that said, I would like to introduce Charles Juma to quickly take us through how to register, access, and use the Digiqua tool, and later on show us how Somo Invest is working and how they tie together. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen at this point and invite Charles to join in and take us through the session. So as Charles is doing that, I'm just quickly going to check our chat and see who has joined us. Charles, you can set up and then continue from there.
Yeah, so thanks, Maureen. Yeah, so I believe you guys can be able to see my screen. So as Maureen has shared, Digiqua is WhatsApp and also USSD record keeping application that is connected to Google Spreadsheet. So we chose USSD as one of the core technologies because of its accessibility and how it's even people with basic feature phones can be able to use it, which is also forms a basic part of what most of the micro and small businesses are using. So as you can see, I have a little simulator here on how the USSD is working. So the first process is on your dial pad, you can just dial *384 *50#. So currently this is common to the Kenyan site. So this one is available in Kenya. We also expanded in Tanzania, which uses a different code. So once you download this from your basic feature phone, maybe even your smartphone, the first part is you select the language that you like to proceed with. So for this case, I can select, just select English. And then, yeah, so the next piece is we have the privacy policy and also the terms of use below. So by clicking on that link, you can be able to view and also read that, and then just use the 0 option to be able to confirm or 2 to cancel. Yeah, but for any user who is using the tool, will have to subscribe to the terms and privacy use policy. So I'll just use a 0. So the next bit is just asking for me to be able to enter the registration voucher. So we use this to be able to keep track of and also to manage the number of users who are using the platform at any given time. And to get this voucher, you can either reach out directly to us or maybe through our partners to be able to provide you with a voucher for registering on to use Digiqua. So for today, I'm going to use this particular code. Yeah, and then so once you've selected your language, you've agreed to the terms of use, and then you've also inputted the voucher code. So there are only 2 more pieces. So you provide the name as an entrepreneur. So you provide the name, and today I'll just use maybe a test user. And then on the next bit is just providing your business name. So for me, I can say my business name is Somo Demo Business. So after this, to be able to ensure that you've also secured your account, you'll also have an opportunity to set up a PIN later. And so for this next process is a very key process because it requires you to be able to provide an email address, and also it gives you an option to skip. So what we're using the email address for is the platform, after doing the registration process, the platform creates a spreadsheet and would therefore share that spreadsheet on your email if you have one. And if you don't have one, you can still be able to use it, only that you won't now have access to that spreadsheet, but you can still be able to request summary of your reports through SMS. So I'll just use one of my email here. Yeah, so the last bit is what I was speaking about. So you create a security PIN, which now you'll be using every time now you're logging into your system to be able to ensure that you also manage your account securely. So I'm also just going to type in that PIN again. And then, so I have opened my email address on the left side of my screen so that you can see how the platform creates and shares that spreadsheet with myself. So once I create, so now it's creating using the information that I've just shared, and then it will share that in a moment. Yeah, so you can just see now it has created a spreadsheet and shared that with me. So I can just open it to be able to show you a quick view of how that spreadsheet looks like. Yeah, so basically this, you can see it is the test user Somo Demo Business Cash Flow for 2022. And then we are starting from, so it has different tabs, and the first tab being the cash flow tab, which it contains a summary of your revenue, your operating expenses, your capital expenses, and also the different investment that your business has received over time. So currently it's just an empty cash flow. And so what an entrepreneur will need to do is dial that code again. And then they'll just go through the process of, yeah, so this both on WhatsApp and also on USSD. So I'll just select the language again. And then the next bit, I have 2 options. So one, I can be able to log into my Digiqua account, and I can also be able to reset my PIN if I've forgotten. Yeah, so from here, the next process is just entering my PIN. I used a very simple PIN. And then, so these are the menu option of some of the things that an entrepreneur is able to do. So they're able to add products to the cash flow, update the inventory, submit their sales, adding expense up to the last option where they can also be able to manage the settings for their account through the platform. So currently, I don't have any product. So what I'll do is add a few products on the cash flow. And for that, I'll just go with the first option, add a product or service. So within the platform, we have two types of products. And so that could be either a standard product. So these are product which has a fixed price. So you're selling it at a fixed price. And then we have custom, which for an entrepreneur, it would be a product which they could sell at different varying prices, depending on who they are selling to, or maybe depending on the amount that they are selling it to. So I'm going to have a standard product. Yeah, and for this, I'm going to use a sample of one of the products. So I can use maybe something like peanut, because we at our Somo shop, we also have some of the peanut products. So let's say I have a peanut, so I'll just type in the name of that product. So I want to add peanut, probably maybe 800 grams. So I'll just type that in. And then the next bit is the standard product. I'll have to include a unit price. So I wouldn't have to include a unit price if it was a custom product otherwise. So if for this one, I can say maybe I'm selling it at 600 shillings. And then once I do that, you can see that it automatically creates a peanut product on the spreadsheet, and then adds the name of that, and also adds it on the different tabs. So just to take you through the tabs that have been added. So you can see that it has created that on the cash flow tab here, and then it has also added it on the product sold, which we'll come to talk about in a moment. And then also the inventory tab, currently we have that peanut 800 grams, and then we have, so currently we don't have any stock, we've not sold any, and also, so that means our current stock also remains at 0. So just to take you through the next process of how the entrepreneur will go about updating the inventory. So for here, I'm just going to follow the quick menu, which takes me back to the home of the application. And then up from here, I can take the next option, say for updating my inventory. Yeah, and then here I have only one product, so I can just select that product, the peanut. So I have an ID before it. And then the next is just how many of these peanut have I stocked. So if I've stocked about 20 of them, I'll just say 20. And then the next process, I'll just have to confirm these details that the product is peanut, the quantity is 20, and I'll just either confirm or cancel. So if I confirm, then it's going to take that 20 and automatically add it to my March stock, because in the month of March, and now I have a few peanuts which I can actually be able to sell. So that is how you can, an entrepreneur can be able to use it to manage the inventory. So the next bit is on how once they make a sale, they can be able to capture the different bits that Digiqua helps to also capture. Yeah, so on the cash flow tab, so we've gone through the cash flow tab, which is the summary of the data that is being pulled from the different tabs, and then we have the product tab, which contains the count of the products that the entrepreneur has been able to sell for the different months, and also we have the client tab, which mainly takes care of the recurring and the new clients, and also so you can be able to compare sort of in January, February, March, So how many clients did you have in terms of the new who are purchasing from you at the first time, or maybe who've been recurring? And then we also have the monthly tabs, which are labeled January through to December. And this basically are your daily tracking sheet, where you can be able to record sales from the first to the last day of the month. And so you can be able to record in terms of your revenue. You can also be able to record in terms of your sales, in terms of the product account that you've sold, the client information, and also the expenses. So I just wanted to show you also how that works. So still from your USSD or your WhatsApp, you can just take the third option for submitting a sale. And then here it also asks you whether you want to submit a sale for a standard product or a custom product. So my cash flow currently has only a standard product, which is the peanut and it's being sold at 600 shillings per unit. So I'll just go with the standard product, and then the next I'll select that product, which is the peanut 800 grams. So currently it's been given ID 7. And then now the next is just entering the sale information. So how many of these peanuts did I sell? I could say maybe I've sold about 10 of them. And then for the 10, when did I make that sale? So I made that sale probably today, the 2nd. And then how many new clients have I sold to those 10 peanuts? So I could say maybe I did about 6 new clients, and then also we after the recurring clients. So how many recurring clients? So these are clients who purchased from my shop before. I could say maybe I have about 3. Yeah, so the last bit is just the platform does the calculation and then give the entrepreneur an option to be able to confirm the sales details. So such as maybe the name of the product, the quantity, the unit price, and also it calculates what the total revenue means for that, and also the actual date. So if the entrepreneur agrees that the details are correct, they can just confirm, and then that will be automatically uploaded onto the cash flow. So you can see that here we have, so the sale has been updated, that we have the revenue of about 6,000 from selling 10 products, and we have 3 recurring clients and 6 new clients. And also just going back to our inventory tab. So you can see that from our inventory tab, we had a stock of 20, and then so by selling 10 of the stock, we are left with 10 as our current stock. So that's how it does the updates from the USSD platform or the WhatsApp to the spreadsheet. So there are also other options, such as maybe adding an expense, creating a business document such as an invoice and a receipt. And so just because of time, I'm just going to now take you through how the data from that spreadsheet is used. So Digiqua, after uploading the data on this spreadsheet, so we have our online investment platform, which is called Somo Invest. And so if you just visit invest.somoafrica.org, you can be able to access that platform. So what this platform does is it pulls data from this spreadsheet for each and every individual user, and then it creates an online profile on the internet where investors can be able to access the profiles for different businesses, view their business performance in terms of both financial and the impact that they're creating in their community. And some of the businesses, so I'm just going to take an example of one of the businesses here. So we have Globop is actually one of the entrepreneurs who will be speaking in the next few minutes. So from here, you can see we have a sample profile. So if you click on view more about the business, you can see a profile about the business, what they're doing, where they're located, And you can also be able to select between the different categories of businesses maybe that you're interested with. So we have agriculture, durables, packaged goods, services, and textiles. So some of the profile details that are collected include the image. Then you also have an overview, and any interested person can just be able to quickly click on this invest button, and then they can be able to provide their name, their email, and also a short note, and then express interest, after which our acceleration department, headed by Joshua, who will also be speaking in a few, can be able now to connect this investor or maybe this opportunity to this entrepreneur who's using the Digiqua platform. And among the details that are being collected, you can see we have the video about the entrepreneur. We also have a basic overview. You can see what they're offering in terms of value. You can also locate the business if you want to see where they're operating, if you want to give them a visit, order some product, and also what they have in terms of their future plan and why an investor should actually be interested with. So the Somo Invest contains data in two categories. So one is the public information, such as this one, for anyone who's visiting our online investment platform can be able to see. And then we also have private data, which you can be able to access, and this mainly contains the financial and impact data that is directly connected to what Digiqua is assisting the entrepreneurs to be able to collect. So by clicking view business performance, you'll be presented with this login screen. So that means you require at least a Somo Invest account to be able to access that data. So I'm just going to log in so that you can be able to see a sample of what that data is contained. Yeah, so by visiting the platform, you can be able to see the representation of the data that is being collected through the cash flow. And that includes the revenue information, the profit information, and also data concerning the clients they have been able to sell, products they've been able to sell, and also in terms of the employees they have, and also both direct and indirect jobs that they've been able to create, as well as also data concerning the capital that has been invested in the business over a period of the time that the business has been operating. So that's it on how the entrepreneur can be able to access Digiqua, and also the data that is collected and how that can be able then to access to enable the entrepreneurs to access additional financing that others they will not have had access to. Yeah, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and give back to Maureen to proceed.
Thank you very much, Charles, for that demo on how to access, register, and use Digiqua as well as Somo Invest. I can see we have a couple of questions on the chat. Please allow me to just address them after the roundtable discussion. Keep them coming in, and I'll organize with the team. If they're tech related, Charles will be able to address them. If they're investment related, Joshua will be able to address them. If they're just general, I can also be able to address them. So thank you for those who are streaming in and asking more of these questions. So at this particular point, we are getting to the more fun part. Not that I'm saying that that part wasn't as fun. However, we now get to hear from our own entrepreneurs who have been with us for a long period of time, right from training to the incubation piece and accessing more of our services and products. And they're going to share their experience, their journey, and how they've reached where they are. So at this point, I'd like to invite Joshua, who is our investment manager, to quickly just talk about our acceleration and incubation program, investment opportunities, and then he's going to have a bit of discussion with the three of our entrepreneurs. So over to you, Joshua.
Thank you so much, Maureen and the team. My name is Joshua, and once again, I would like to remind you that I spearhead the investments at Somo Africa. So just to run you briefly about our acceleration program. So during the almost 2-year acceleration program, entrepreneurs are further mentored. We train them and offer visualizations on how they can successfully grow their businesses. The acceleration program provides hands-on coaching, financing, and access to space and markets. So entrepreneurs in the acceleration program receive an upfront investment from Somo of up to $2,000. So this capital is distributed over a 3 to 6 month period. And this is conditional on the key metrics being met by the entrepreneurs over this period of time. So Somo takes between 5 to 10% future equity stake in each business to ensure a long-term relationship with the businesses. Those with potential, so that is the entrepreneurs with potential to scale, are candidates to further receive additional investments in the form of loans through our current Somo Invest financing partners. So actually the Somo Invest that Charles just presented. So some of our lending partners include Mkono. So Mkono are focusing on youths and socially focused businesses. We also have Optimizer Foundation. So Optimizer also keep their key focus on entrepreneurs who are contributing to creating social impact in their low-income generating communities. And finally, we have the Bestseller Foundation, who is very keen on circular economy businesses. So defining that as businesses that are either recycling waste fabric and just doing recycling to create a green businesses in their low-income generating communities. And all these are available through our digital tools. So now to just take us through the next session. So today in the panel, we have 3 entrepreneurs, as earlier mentioned, and just to give them time to just briefly share with us whom they are and what their businesses do. I will start with Rosalie. Rosalie, kindly unmute and just share with us whom you are and what your business does.
Okay, thank you so much, Joshua, for that. I'm Rosalie Akinyi. I'm the founder of Braxton. After graduating from campus, I was unemployed for a long time, and being the firstborn in an African family, after taking you to school, they always expect more from you. So I had to figure out on ways I could help my family, and that's why ROAC came through. At Braxton, cycled the used tires to produce the genuine leather sandal, of which we sell to wholesalers and retailers within Mombasa and also across the country, Kenya. In this process, we employ the unemployed women and the youth. So far, we have a team of 25 women and youth, which have been able to get the employment, and also they have been able to get empowered with the entrepreneurial skills that I got from Somo Buruka program, because I always share with them, because I want them to get empowered and also learn the skills by themselves, not only to rely on employment like they are right now, but also to secure themselves businesses in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosalie, founder of ROAC. So the next on board, I will also call upon Judy to just unmute and briefly share with us whom you are and what your business does.
Thank you, Joshua. Hi, everyone. My name is Judy, the founder of Block Up Organics. Block Up was formed during the year 2020, when I was sent to my community to repair and fix toilets as part of my internship. It was then I encountered bad smell, stubborn stained floors, and even diseases due to bad sanitation. So this motivated me to come up with detergents so that I may help my community. It was then I came across Somo, where I was enrolled, and they made my dream come true. In Block Up, we produce natural detergents for the households. We have industrial soaps. We are also producing essential oils and skincare beauty products. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Back
Judy. Thank you so much, Judy. So next is Margaret. So also kindly just unmute and share briefly what your business does and whom you are. Okay.
As you've heard, my name is Margaret Abok. I'm the founder of Maple's Oven restaurant. We do a lot of African cuisine, food. Yeah. What else did you want to know? So we've been running this restaurant for the last 3 years. We were funded by Somo and trained by Somo, and I was given a grant to, I bought the cutleries and all the things. I started my business with the money I was given.
Thank you so much, Maggie, for that. Yeah, just to start us off. So we would like to also understand how record keeping, how the entrepreneur's record keeping journey was before joining Somo, and how has that now changed with Digiqua. So just to understand more about the record keeping journey before the entrepreneurs joined Somo, we will start with, I will start with Judy. Judy, kindly unmute and share with us how was your record keeping journey before you joined Somo, and how did that, how has that changed now that you are using Digiqua?
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Before the Digiqua came up, it was really a mess in my keeping records, because you may find that I bought some products, I have to record them. Customers are waiting for my goods to be delivered. So you found that most of the time I used to skip them, and you find that at the end of the month, most of the things I've not recorded, and I cannot even tell how my stocks were sold, how the stocks produced, how they were sold, and what is remaining in my stocks. So with the Digiqua platform, it has helped me a lot because all revenues are in the same place. I can now see my expenses at the same place too. I know to know my profit margins, I just click the app and I get all what I need there. But by the end of the month, I can tell the stocks I have, the stocks I have sold. And the most important thing, it was the invoicing. I used to pay 3,000 per month for QuickBooks so that I may invoice. And you find that when we have blackouts, I cannot even invoice. But now with the Digiqua platform, it has helped me a lot. I can invoice anytime and anywhere at my customer's convenience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judy, for such a wonderful experience. So next, we would also like to hear from Rosalie. How was your record-keeping journey before you began using Digiqua, and how is your experience today now that you are using Digiqua to keep your records, your business records?
Okay, before I joined Somo, let me start from there. I wasn't taking any records. I was just doing business for the sake, for me to pay rent by end month, for me to get a food on my table by the end of the day. Yeah. So after joining Somo through the Broadcast program, I learned about the importance of daily record keeping, also the importance of separating my personal and business finances. Yeah. And after Bruka training, that's why I was introduced to Digiqua, where I could now easily record my daily sales, I could record my daily expenses, and also record the clients that have come, either if they are new, if they're repeated, so that by the end of the month, I know how many people my product has reached. And also Digiqua has also assisted us, because me myself, I can view my growth as an entrepreneur. I can see like January, the sales were low. In February, they have rose. I can tell that throughout the year. Yes.
Thank you so much. And also quickly, let us hear from Margaret. Margaret, how was your journey? How did you, how was your record keeping looking like before you started using Digiqua, and how has that improved, or what is your experience now that you are using Digiqua?
I want to thank God for Digiqua, because initially we just used to write receipts in a receipt book before Digiqua was introduced to us. So, and sometimes the receipts would get lost. You can't do your account well. But since Digiqua was introduced to Somo, these days, every week I can tell how many plates of meat I've sold, how many plates of chicken I've sold, fish, how many I've sold, and I can even tell my expenses and my profit. Actually, everything, even the cup of tea, we can even how much tea you sold in a month. So Digiqua really helped us. It has made my work easy, because now I can tell if I'm making profit or I'm losing, or I've lost 2 plates of meat, which is not accounted for. So Digiqua really helped me to keep my records, to know my expenses, and to know my profits.
Thank you so much, Maggie. That is amazing and interesting. So we may also want to hear from the entrepreneurs. How has it been trying to access financing from other institutions, and just to have them share with us which are some of the institutions have you tried to just acquire or access financing, be it loans, be it any growth investment opportunities, and what was the process like? So if maybe we will just start with Rosalie. Please kindly share with us if you've been able to acquire financing from institutions, and which institutions did you try this, and what was the process like? Rosalie, kindly go next.
Okay, thank you so much, Joshua. Yes, I had tried accessing finance from Women Enterprise Fund. It is a government institution that fund women, business women. They train you on entrepreneurial skills for 3 days, then they fund you. But the difficulty I got with this, they only fund a group of women. So if I go like by myself, like I want a loan, they are not able to give me. So the first challenge one was getting the fund from a group of 10 and above. So getting the other 9 people who are interested in the same, because not everyone is interested in the loans. And to make the matters worse, the Muslim religion don't accept the loans with interest. So if I go to my neighbor, I tell him that there is this organization that giving loans with no interest, they don't believe me. So getting the 10 women was a challenge. Plus, after getting the 10 women, your group must be registered, of which they only fund the registered certificate of 3 months old. So if I was in need of cash by then, so I couldn't able to wait for the 3 months for me to be able to get the funds. which after the 3 months of that certificate has matured, we were also going to process the loan application. We were going to go to the chief. Like we just walk everywhere for the loan form to be filled. Plus also you have to wait for 45 working days for the loan to be processed, for you people to know whether you've been successfully given the loan or you are unqualified. So when it came to Somo, thanks to Somo, we partners were easily able to reach us, because through Somo Invest, a partner can tell that this is Rosalie, she's in business, plus this is her cash flow for the whole month or for 2021. The business is growing. And through that, Mukono and the seller showed interest in my business, and they funded me that, and the funds I was given, I used it to buy a motorcycle, which is now helping us in doing deliveries through the coastal region. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosalie. Just to also hear experiences from the two other entrepreneurs. Now, just to start with Maggie, would you kindly just unmute and share with us if you've tried to access financing from other lending or even other financial institutions? What was your experience? Which financial institution was this, and what was your experience? Yeah, and what was the process?
Thank you, Joe.
How was the process?
Yes. I've ever gotten a loan with cooperative bank, and it wasn't very easy, because you must have three guarantors, and then they'll come to your house, and they take the serial of your TV, your fridge, your cooker, and so forth and so forth. And it doesn't take only a month. They take like 2 months to give you a loan. So I think Optimizer is the best, because when I apply, I'm given within a month, and the interest is very fair, and they don't take us to CRB. Yeah, that's my experience.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Maggie, for sharing your interest, your views and your experiences. And yeah, also it will also be good to hear from Judy. I don't know if you've had any experience trying to access financials from local financial institutions, and I don't know what was the process like, if in case you've tried to acquire finances from these institutions.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. First, I want to say a big thank you to Somo Africa for changing me from a confused element to a CEO. I really answered at that time. First, I went to youth groups to request them to finance me to start my business. But they had a lot of questions, a lot of blogs. I ended up going to other institutions to look for the same to be financed, but I was not able to be financed. I last went to Verona Sacco, where I was told I can get some capital to start my business. But unfortunately for them, they not also help me, because the challenge I was having, they say that I have to save for 6 months, and that after saving for the 6 months, they will give me the loan I was to get from that was 4 times of what I have saved. So if I was saving 1,000, after 4 months, I would have saved 4,000, which the loan I can get from there was supposed to be 16,000, and 16,000 is very low, could not start any business. So with this challenge, it's when the Somo came in and they funded me and I started my business. Along the way, I also got an additional amount of 100,000, which helped me set a garden of aloe vera. I also boosted my production, which helped me also to venture into outside Nairobi markets. And just recently with Mkono, I was able to get 70,000, which will enable me to venture into East African markets and give more spaces for employment to my community and to the youths in my community. To get these loans with Somo, it has been a walkover because you just request for the loan, and through your cash flows, they can monitor how your business is growing, and you are able to get them just freely and without a lot of challenges. So thank you, Joshua.
Thank you so much, Judy, for such a vast experience and just being happy and open to share this with everyone. Now, finally, just to understand, how have you spent this money that you received through Somo Invest? So would you kindly share with us how you spent the money? At least you have had at least Judy sharing this, and then just to also understand what has this meant for the growth of your business, you know. So how has this the investment you received from Somo Invest meant for the growth of your business and the impact you have had? And that one I will of course Judy tackled that, and we were able to hear some of the impact that the investment created in them. Just to hear from Maggie, what was the impact that the investment you received through Somo Invest created for in your business and your community?
Thank you, Joshua. I want to say that after Somo gave me the grant of 180,000, then I started my business. After 1 year, I applied for a loan of 70,000, which they gave me. I improved my restaurant, and I also bought more cutleries. So after I finished paying that 70,000, Optimus again gave me 100,000, which I also added in my business to improve my small restaurant. It has also helped me to join the other apps like Uber, Bolt, Glovo, so I can be able to supply them with food. So again, when I finished paying the 100,000 again, now they've agreed to give me another loan of 250 to improve my business. So I really thank God for Optimizer, which has really stood with me as I move and expand my business. They also move with me. I really thank God for them.
Yeah, I just give you wanted you to also just touch base a little bit on the jobs you are currently creating, and where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay. Currently, I've employed one chef, and I've employed a chef and two ladies. But I have a passion for widows to train them also to be supported. So I've also have 2 widows who volunteer, and maybe at the end of the week we give them something. So and I've employed two youths and a chef. Yeah. I'm seeing Maples Oven in the next 5 years. We'll have like 2 more branches. Because right now we are operating from Olympic Kibera, but we intend to grow maybe to Yaya. We tend to have branches, Yaya, Kisumu, Yeah, that's our intention.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And just finally, also just to hear from Rosalie, the investments that you received from Somo, how did this impact? What impact did it create to your low-income generating community? And where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay, the first investment I got from acceleration, I used it to open another outlet that offered employment opportunities to 5 more youths within my locality, because unemployed women within Likoni sub-county, there are so many of them and they have the beadwork skills. So we opened that outlet to get more women engaged. And the second additional investment I got from Conan, we used it to buy a motorcycle that has now eaten our deliveries within the coastal region, because we were having a hassle shipping the materials from Mombasa down to Likoni. It was a hard stuff. We could spend like 1,500 bob a day, but nowadays we can only spend 1,000 bob in a day to ship our materials, and also 1,000 bob in a week to ship the materials and also deliver the sandals at the right time. Okay, where I see my business in the near future, I see Raga as a brand like Bata or Umoja, because we are dreaming of building a company for us to make the sandals in large scale and also to ship the sandals abroad, because what we make right now, we have too many clients who needs them, but our rate of production is low. But when we get to the factory, we'll be able to produce more sandals and also be able to reach the international markets through shipping our sandals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosalie. And not to forget Judy. Judy, where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years as we conclude?
Okay, thank you, Joshua. First, in 1 year to come, I'd like to employ more than 1,000 employees, so that I can make them my ambassadors in the East African markets, which includes Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda. I also want to attain land where all my raw materials, I'll get them from my place, because you find that the supply of the raw materials, you can get someone supplying to you for only 2 months, and the other month there's nobody to supply. So that product cannot make any sale because you don't have the raw material to make it. Then lastly, I'll partner with Somo to set up a facility mainly for hygiene and skincare beauty products only. Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you so much, everyone. You've heard it from the entrepreneurs who are in the real market. You've heard their challenges, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And at this point, I will return back the session to Maureen. Maureen, kindly take it up.
Thank you very much, Joshua, and congratulations to Rosalie, Judy, and Margaret for sharing your stories, sharing where you'd like to be in the next couple of months and years. That's just a true definition of the kind of growth you'd like to see for yourselves, your business, and ultimately communities and the country at large. So to just quickly just go over the main key points that I took from the roundtable discussion, and I think these points would resonate with most of the people on this call, or of entrepreneurs who have been experiencing such kinds of difficulties. So the first piece, I would like to start off with the skills piece that these entrepreneurs have been able to get through the training programs and coaching opportunities. And these skills are now enabling them to get more funds, use the funds wisely, and use the funds in a way that they can think about scaling and sustaining their own businesses. Another key area that has really stood out from the discussions that we've had from Rosalie, Judy, and Margaret is the requirements for getting more funds, either loans from other financial institutions or other areas and avenues. The requirements are either too many and maybe they do not have access to those documentations and other things, or it takes them a little bit of time to put them together. And the other piece is the duration, right from the application to get a loan to you getting confirmation on whether you will get the loan. We had that from Rosalie. And after getting confirmation, there's a whole other period that is put in place for you to actually get access to those funds. And what does that mean to these entrepreneurs? It means they need either slow down on the plans that they had put in place to use the funds to either add more stock, think about scaling, adding more equipment to their businesses and everything else. And with the invention and leveraging technology, we have seen that Digiqua is a tool that entrepreneurs who run small businesses can be able to quickly record, have access to documentations that might be needed by financial institutions or investors before they make these funds easily and readily available and accessible. And we've also seen with Digiqua, these financial institutions and investors can be able to track and see how they are using the funds, how the business is growing, and opportunities to give more funds. We've seen Judy has talked about her getting funds from more than one institution. And as Joshua mentioned, we're working with institutions and companies like Mkono, Optimizer, and Bestseller to support these entrepreneurs. So I can see we have a little bit of time to at least address some of the questions that were left in the chat. And for those who have just joined us, thank you very much. Our session was around just using simple technologies to access financial opportunities and having a way to track and see how your business is performing. I would like to quickly request Charles to address a few of the questions. I can see he has already addressed a couple of them, but you can just, Charles, you can just give a quick overview on the technologies behind Digiqua, as well as how they are accessed and where we're currently actually using it, which is in Kenya and Tanzania. And before Charles gets on, I think another quick take home from this roundtable discussion and some of the questions on the chat. So if you see me looking on the side, I'm just looking at my notebook. I'd just like to point out that we are using technologies that are already being used. A USSD code, we use it every day to put in credit or just subscribe to something. So it's technologies that we know of. We're just trying to make it, to give it more use and support entrepreneurs from marginalized communities. So Charles, I'll quickly just try and address some of the questions that are on the chat relating to Digiqua, the technology behind Digiqua. Over to you, Charles.
Yeah, so thanks, Maureen, for that. Yeah, so just maybe to look into first, how is it accessible to people who are not using smartphones? So as Maureen has shared, USSD is a technology that is available on all cellular devices. So any mobile device has an ability to be able to work with USSD. And of course, this you've seen it on how people are accessing or subscribing to mobile money, or maybe purchasing airtime. So they can be able to use that. So you do not require airtime, or you do not also require a smartphone or access to internet to use the Digiqua platform, because it is available on USSD. So USSD works sort of like an interactive SMS platform. So on the other bit is for those who are using smartphones, they can be able to, and also maybe they have access to the internet, they can still use USSD through WhatsApp version of Digiqua. So the other bit is with the USSD code that we are using, so that is toll free. So that means we take care of the cost and the entrepreneur does not require airtime from their end. And yeah, so on the monthly maintenance cost, we can definitely share that for those who are interested. And then the other bit is on generation of reports. So the reports that can be generated from Digiqua include the profit and loss, gross margin, and just giving a summary of maybe the client information in terms of new and recurring client, and also managing of inventory. So one thing that I want to emphasize is this tool is mainly focused on micro and small businesses, and also tailored to make sure that to cater for some of the records that this entrepreneur is using, and also as well as something that they can be able to use to even approach credit facilities, to be able to present and say, here are my records and these are how I've been doing the business, to be able at least to get access to those additional financial opportunities that otherwise they will not have access to. So the other bit is looking at Digiqua and Somo Invest. There was a question on the mutual exclusivity. So you can use Digiqua without necessarily being on Somo Invest. So Digiqua assists the entrepreneur with doing the records to manage their businesses. So use those records to approach a financial institution, to use those records to obtain a credit facility. And Somo Invest then goes a little bit further to use the data that has been collected through Digiqua to build online presence for the entrepreneur, and also to build a portfolio or a profile that an investor can have a look at, or someone who's interested in the business can be able to look at, and also gives now the entrepreneurs more online presence that otherwise they did not have, and also an easier way for investors or interested parties to be able to reach out to the business, and that is managed by the Somo's acceleration team. So the other thing that I'll just mention is Digiqua is highly integratable with other platforms, and that is how it has been able to integrate with Somo Invest to be able to pull those reports. So once that data is available, you can be able to integrate the Digiqua platform with other platforms to generate more insights, and also further analyze and produce visual representation of the report as per the customization of someone that may need. Of course, that will need to happen on a higher level and maybe will require other discussion. So on where to get get started using Digiqua or any of the Somo Invest or any of the digital tools for Somo, Morina shared her contact details below, so you can just reach out to her. She's the one who's handling managing our partnership, and then she will also be able to start out that discussion and move forward. So currently, Digiqua is available in Kenya and Tanzania, and as soon as maybe we expand to other countries, we'll definitely let you guys know. So in case maybe there's something that I've left out, maybe you can just point it out, and then I can also be able to respond. And think also I'll just invite any of also my colleagues to maybe share in case maybe there's something that I've left out. Yeah. Back to you, Maureen.
Thank you very much, Charles. I was quickly just going through the questions on the chat to just see if you responded to all of them. There was a question by Emmanuel Edai. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. His question was around how about the capability to deal with inventory with units like meters or liters. You did respond down here that there would be a newer version come July. So maybe you can quickly just respond to that as well.
Oh yeah, so as we shared, currently the Digiqua tool is mainly focused on the micro and small businesses. However, as we rolled out the tool, as the entrepreneurs using, and also the feedback that we are getting, you find that we are getting more and more diversified businesses, and that also prompted us to be able to work on a new version, which is currently being worked on, and we'll be releasing it in the next few months up to by July. And some of the key things that we've taken into consideration are things to do management of the inventory, not just in terms of what the business is producing, but also the inventory of the assets, inventory of the different maybe production, and just to handle also on the manufacturing side, and that includes measurements such as maybe meters, liters of that. So that is how currently we are. So that is definitely going to be taken care of in the new version that we are having. Out.
Thank you very much, Charles. Still on Emmanuel's question, can the tool generate P&L and other financial reports automatically after data has been entered? Charles?
Yeah, so among the key reports that Digiqua generates currently is simple profit and loss. That includes the gross margins, gross profits, operating profits, and also just being able to track what you have in cash, what you have in the bank, and also the different investments that you have. So the other key piece is Digiqua is highly integratable with other platforms, which you can also be able to use the data that is available on Digiqua to integrate with other platform to generate and pull more insights that are not currently being tracked within the platform. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Charles. I believe those are all the questions that were left in the chat. And as Charles has mentioned, and I left in the chat section, if you're interested to just learn more about Digiqua or start using Digiqua, I've left my contact details on the chat. I can quickly just repeat them. My email address is maureen@somoafrica.org. So you can quickly just drop me an email and we can have a conversation around that. And so before we come to the end of this session, I'd just like to summarize everything and just quickly address, or I'll just talk about, there's a comment that was left by Justin. He said some of the questions he was asking, he was just trying to enable, just find a way for entrepreneurs in remote areas to have access to these tools. And that's the goal for Somo Africa. We work with entrepreneurs from these remote areas. And over the number of years we've been working with these communities, we have been learning from them and trying to understand some of the challenges and the needs they have for them to be able to upscale either their current operations and think of running scalable and sustainable enterprises. And as we've been growing, as we've been learning from the name itself, Somo Lessons, we have been coming up with these innovative ideas to help these entrepreneurs continue running their businesses. And Digiqua, among other digital tools that we are having within our organizations, are meant to support these kinds of entrepreneurs. So if you are working with small and micro types of businesses, this is a tool for them. And we are offering and giving a platform to help these entrepreneurs, or rather support them, because it's a two-way traffic. We learn from them, which in turn informs some of the innovations that we can come up with. And when we're coming up with these innovations, we are leveraging technologies that are currently available and technologies that are actually being used. And we also just try to understand and look at the whole ecosystem. If it's the funding piece, how can this entrepreneur secure funding with limited resources, but still using technologies? And how can financial giving institution or credit institutions use what is available to ease their process for them to give out these loans, for them to be able to track how these loans are being used so that they can see the impact these businesses are having in the communities. And at the same time, how can these businesses be able to access more funding opportunities while having the right skills, the right attitudes, and the right mindsets to handle everything that will be coming their way. Yeah, and pretty much our session was just all around that. securing funding with technologies for MSMEs here in Kenya, and we are also in Tanzania, and we're looking to grow far and beyond. We're looking to work with and create relationships with people who are in the field of supporting these small businesses. So be it from skills acquisition, be it from giving funding, be it from trying to know, I've given this entrepreneur $500. How do I know how they are using it? How, is there any return? How are all those things going to happen? So having forums like the SunCalp Forum, where we get to share, hear stories from entrepreneurs who have been using and accessing these opportunities is a great way. I can see we have around 8 more minutes to just wrap up this session. And at this point, I would like to invite Joshua to just say one thing that stood out for him, and as an investment manager, what is your key takeaway and what is your ask?
Thank you so much, Maureen. I would like to first and foremost thank the SunCalp community for organization for creating this forum. One thing that stood out for me is the hustle that the entrepreneurs go through, either to start up their businesses or to grow these businesses. And my key ask on behalf of the entrepreneurs is to, if we can find people who empathizes with these entrepreneurs and would like to help grow these businesses, help invest in the businesses, and just help them to meet their vision and to see their communities grow, I will really appreciate, because that is our duty. That is why we are here. We are here to see the communities grow and impacted in various capacity. And on behalf of the entrepreneurs, we'll be so happy to invite anyone who wants to invest in these businesses. And what do you gain? If you invest in these businesses, you become part of these jobs created. You become part of the solutions that they are creating, the change that is created in these low-income generating communities, and together we make this world a changed community. Back to you, Maureen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much again, Joshua. Thank you very much, Charles, for addressing what we have any IT guys who are booming with ideas on how to leverage technologies and come up with innovative ways to support entrepreneurs from marginalized or underrepresented communities. Please feel free to reach out. And to the SunCalp Forum, thank you very much for organizing this type of space and platform for people from all over the world to come together, share ideas, see growth, create that impact. And to just wrap it up, on behalf of Somo Africa, we are excited and happy to continue establishing and creating relationships around just supporting these entrepreneurs from these communities. And it's all about just figuring ways for entrepreneurs to secure funds through leveraging technology for MSMEs here in Kenya, and we're also in Tanzania, and looking to go far and beyond in other areas. Yeah, that's it from our end. If you'd like to just learn more, you can just go over to our website, leaving the link on the chat once again, somoafrica.org. You can also find us on our social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as we have a YouTube channel where you can also just watch our digitized curriculum that is accessible and available to entrepreneurs. Yes, that's it from our end. I guess I'd like to take it back to either Dennis or Margaret from SunCalp or Intellect Camp. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Maureen. Dennis, over to you.
Thank you everyone for taking your time to attend this session. So this marks the end of our session today, but please remember that we still have other ongoing sessions. So see you in our next sessions, and we really appreciate you taking your time to attend this session. And you have a great day. Bye-bye.